and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon 5 for a tournament. Ignore the fact the cars are incredibly dusty despite just being parked here because Horizon can be a little bit weird. This is a kind of modern sports car, that's coupe convertible showdown with a bunch of, well, all sorts of modern vehicles. Some, like the Amira, have been in the game for a while. Some new stuff, like the MG. It's a winner stays on tournament. So, the cars are gradually going to get faster. The winner of each round will stay on to face the next challenger. Now, we are all pretty, I say, scared. We know the Amira is likely to be quick. Now, the MG is going to be a monster off the start line, of course. It's electric. It's going to get the launch, and we are off. And we are underway, and that is a great start for the MG. But Impega knows they're going to have to make the most of this. The Amira is going to be super, super quick in the corners. But this is a twisty course, this one here. Impega is on maximum commitment through these first sections. Mind the rocks on the outside. The MG gets away with it as we barrel down towards this next turn. Overtaking is always going to be difficult in these challenges as we head through here. The MG struggling a little bit with understeer, but it is likely to be a little bit faster accelerating. Can the Lotus have a look to the inside down here? It's thinking about it. It kind of has a bit of a go, but it's going to struggle to get this power down on the exit. And sure enough, it cannot quite do it. The MG's acceleration, it is mighty fast. Getting that power down. Now we're over the jump and the MG clears it. The Lotus almost clears it. Yep, that is a section. The cars are going to jump. They've got to deal with that. Now, one of the tightest corners on the track. One of the easiest ones to overshoot. It's coming up. I thought it was coming up sooner than it was. I stand corrected. It's this one here where we're going to have to be super, super careful. The Lotus covers the inside, gets turned. The MG's got the acceleration, though, on the exit. And once again, the MG is going to fire it back up the inside. The MG is proving to be very, very difficult to overtake and stay ahead of because of that mighty acceleration, and Impega's going to defend. It is a drag race coming up towards the finish line. The Lotus is having a look, but it's not going to do it. The MG's out wide. It's almost crashed, but Impega has done it. The MG holds on. Impega was about, I don't know, maybe 10 centimetres away from a very big adventure into a canyon, but it had to be done. It had to be done. The MG is actually one of the big shocks. Immediately, the first round we've had, quite the shock. The MG is victorious. The Amira is out. The MG's into the next round. So, it was somewhat of a surprise in the first round. The MG just about held on. So, what is it going to be able to do against the Dark Horse Mustang? Ewan is driving the Mustang, and Impega is going to try and keep. We know what's going to happen here. Off the line, the MG is going to bolt away. And sure enough, there it goes. The MG will get the lead. But the Mustang should, in theory, have more power. It should, in theory, have enough straight line speed to deal with the MG. Well, to get closer. So whether to deal with it or not, I don't know. The Mustang is having a look, but there's almost an overlap there. Can't quite do it. Still, the MG's acceleration is quite good. Oh, there's the panic honk. The Ewan panic honk is back. Basically, frantically holding the stick, trying to steer, and you click in the stick by accident and end up beeping the horn. That does happen. We're under acceleration now, down towards. That MG's still so fast. Off that slow hairpin. The gap that the MG is able to pull is immense as we head over the jump now, but then into this next, again, all that gap gets immediately closed by the Mustang, but where is it going to find in terms of a way back past? Not quite through here. This is the really tough corner. This is where the Lotus had a go but couldn't do it. The Mustang has tried, but it's going to be exactly the same story. Once again, the Mustang gets to the inside, cannot outrun the MG into the next section, and then through here, there's a little bit of traffic. They get away with it though. It's not too bad, but I don't think the Mustang is quite close enough. Once again, the MG is across the line, and it will beat again. It was pushed hard. It was pushed hard through that course. The Mustang has, it hit itself in shame. Nope, it's fallen off down the side of the mountain. The Mustang, tried its best. It just could not find a way past. So the MG marches on into the next round, and it has come up against a Lexus. We've got the RCF Track Edition. We have a sneaking suspicion. I mean, we were all expecting the MG basically to go out. at the first round. We weren't expecting it to be able to hold on, but we've been wrong so far. And after it defeated the Mustang, this could be a very, very similar race between the pair of them. They are off and underway because the start... I mean, Liam decided to park the slightly bizarre side, but it doesn't really matter. I guess Liam is just going for maximum speed through the first corner because the MG is so fast off the line. It is able to build that gap. Now, will the RCF be better through the corners? Of course it will. But can it match the acceleration where it needs to? And can it find a way past, even if it is better through the corners? It's slid a little bit wide through here, or Liam is going to have a big look to the inside, but it's a really tight line down there. It's a really difficult line to make work. This is your best opportunity. Well, I say your best opportunity to get alongside the MG, but then just no one can outrun it on the exit because there it goes. Straight onto the power it heads down towards the next section. Will the RCF be close enough? Over the jumps we go. They are both just quick enough, which is good. This corner is where the MG does lose a fair bit of its time. It's just it's just not got the grip to compete with the likes of the Lexus. And the Lexus is having a little bit of a look. It might get alongside, but it's going to be the wrong side as we come down towards this twisty section. The Lexus is braving it the long way round, but once again, it just cannot find a way past. The MG holds on. And then, I mean, it's got to actually pull a bit further gap than it's had with the previous two vehicles through this section. Because it's got the acceleration. Liam is going to chuck it through here and close the gap, and really does close here. Liam is now right on the bumper, but it's not enough. The MG marches on. The Lexus is eliminated once again. The MG was pushed all the way. It was pushed absolutely all the way by the Lexus. But yeah, the Lexus was right on the bumper. It was mega fast through that final sector for the RCF because that tight corner, it actually lost a little bit of ground. But there was no way past. And bizarre, but the MG marches on. For our next round of this modern sports and convertible coupes, we have got an MG versus a Morgan. No, you have not been teleported back in time. We do. We actually do. I mean, we're going to wait and see. We know what's going to happen. What we know is going to happen is the MG is going to run away at the front, or it's going to run away off the line quite quickly. The Morgan is going to try and chase it down. And the question is, will the Morgan have enough grip? Will there be a space to get an overtake as well? If Impega makes any mistakes with that MG, they're going to be in trouble. And it's probably not the easiest cars to drive. But once again, it is off to an early lead. The Morgan is very good through the corner. I mean, they're both a bit unusual looking vehicles, that is for sure. You will notice I have to be a little bit careful with the drone camera. Basically, if I fall off this cliff, we've lost the drone because we can't fly back up it. So I can't do any fancy shots on this first part of the run, essentially. The Morgan is there having a look. But Impega knows they're possibly a little bit vulnerable through this section. The MG's not great through there, but it's this hairpin. This hairpin is what matters. Gliska's thought about sending it to the inside and does have a little bit of a look, but it's kind of... Oh, Impega a little bit wide. Because it's all a little bit academic, because once again, that Cyberster or whatever the damn thing's called is just so fast. Gliska is closer, although gets a big bump. Not quite as nice over there. Big bump through the Morgan. Got really unsettled. That has not helped it because that is the corner that's important to be faster. Oh, the MG is slow through there and Gliska is right on it, but the MG is defending. Got a little bit of a nudge through there. Gliska's to the inside. The Morgan's found a way past. The MG's got the drive though off that slow corner once again. The MG has found a way past. The Morgan is looking. It's going to go the long way round over here, and that could be a problem because it's going to get hung out to dry, or is it? Gliska's gone, has done it. Long way round. It's going to be a drag race to the line. They make contact, but this time the MG can't do it. Great pass. Great pass from the Morgan. That is a tough place. That is a really difficult place to make that one stick. But the Morgan is victorious. And in a bizarre turn of events, the Morgan has defeated the MG in the modern sports cars. But the MG did a lot better than we were kind of expecting. Good run from Gliska. A little bit of touring car contact went on from both. But yeah, there we go. The Morgan is victorious. But yeah, great showing. MG did so much better than any of us were expecting. But yeah, Morgan advances. So, with the MG defeated, we do still at least have a British car. The Morgan is going to be running in this next round. Don't know who's got a silly horn. But we have got the Morgan. I'm going to say the MG. But yeah, we've got the Morgan versus the Porsche. We've got the Cayman. Don't know what we're going to see from this one. It's actually going to be a drag race towards the first corner because it's not going to be so clear cut. It is going to be the Porsche that will lead away through this first turn. It is Shadows driving the Porsche. Gliska's had a look to the inside, but there was not quite order. There was some contact. Oh no, Shadows has gone round. Oh dear. The Cayman has got itself into trouble immediately. I think it lost the back end. Sort of as they were fighting through that one, where I lost the. There is the Morgan. Yeah, the Gliska got to the inside, or tried to get to the inside, and just ran out of space and clonked into the Armco barrier a little bit down there. And then, yeah, lost a bunch of time, and then Shadows just struggled a little bit in towards the next corner. The Morgan, has almost done a front flip. Shall we try and get a nice cinematic camera shot somewhere down here? There it is. Oh, it got the landing relatively nicely for the Cayman in all of that one. But yeah, this is a difficult road. There is no doubt about it. This is a challenging road. I think there is a sideways Morgan going on. We've got the the expression session occurring up ahead. We're going to we're not going to slide through this one. There it is. The Morgan gets a bit sideways through all of this. It will be the Morgan that is going to go on to take victory in this one. Hey, I get given crap for showboating when it comes to beam finishes, but there we go. It is the Morgan across the line. We have got... didn't know I could fly through that. Don't fall off the bridge. I've lost a Porsche. Oh, I have fallen off a bridge now and I can't fly back up. Has anybody seen a Porsche? Anybody? No, we seem to have lost a Porsche. Oh, there's... I fell off the bridge, and I think the Porsche did as well. Oh dear. The Morgan's through to the next round. So, on to our next challenger. We have got the Mercedes. This is the SL63 that honestly I know very little about, other than it is very big, probably very heavy, but it will be very heavy. Probably going to launch faster than the Morgan, but I mean, this is what... so we have seen the all-wheel drive cars are going to be kind of quick off the line, but this course is very twisty. This is likely to be quite a difficult one, and we are off and underway. It's a good launch, an unsurprising launch. Mercedes is going to lead into the first corners, but we've seen the Morgan's immense grip. You definitely don't want to be hitting the railings. You're going to lose a little bit of speed. Morgan cannot quite find a way past. It's very narrow. Look, Gliska has a big look to the inside, can't do it. Rusky's driver of the Mercedes is going to have to try and defend through this next section, and that's not how you're going to be defending. It's too wide, and the Morgan is going to find a pass. You can't leave the door that wide open. The Morgan is definitely going to make the most of that one. We run down towards the hairpin. Now, the Merc's likely to be quick on acceleration here. Will have traction. Morgan a little bit sideways. Not quite ideal. Although, while Mercedes has a huge amount of power, the Morgan, of course, much lighter. Mercedes is right behind. Is there going to be room for the Merc to have a look? Traffic's not in a great place. They had to go a little bit around it. Neither particularly helpful. Mercedes compromised on the way in. Morgan compromised on the way out. Still, the Mercedes is close as we head towards the tightest corner on the circuit here. Oh, Mercedes has gone very wide. He's just going to avoid the railings. It is a little bit across the inside through a little bit freeform from the Merc through there, but it's not going to be close enough. It's not. This next section is very quick. You need a lot of grip for it, and I doubt the Merc's going to die. It's falling back. It's even with creative use of track limits, is not even going to be anywhere close enough to do anything about the Morgan. Mercedes just a little bit too big, a little bit too heavy perhaps to fight it. It got the lead early on, but the second it runs a little bit wide, the Morgan is always going to be able to pounce. The Morgan will claim victory. The Morgan will march to the next round. We have up next another big, heavy, well this time BMW, versus the Morgan. Can the Morgan continue onwards? Potentially. We know, of course, the BMW is going to outlaunch it. It is really whether the Morgan is going to be able to find a way past. It's whether the BMW is going to be able to defend, who might end up making mistakes. I imagine the Morgan is the easier of the two to drive in all of this, but they are ready. They are underway. The BMW will launch cleanly, and as expected, really, the M8 is going to take an early lead. And it is neat and tidy through this section. For Mute, I nearly crashed my drone, and then it would be in real trouble. The BMW defends the inside, and that's the thing that Gliska has to deal with the Morgan, is if the BMW parks it, the Morgan's got to go a very long way round, and it has done it. It's made it work. fantastic pass, possibly the best pass we have seen on this one. That was incredible. Mute had parked it and was going to make that as difficult to overtake as possible, but Gliska found a way past. The Morgan's got a little bit wide. Now, this is where the BMW might come into its own. The Morgan could be vulnerable down this section because it will be a flat-out drag race, essentially. Well, I say drag race. It will be a flat-out section for the cars. Over the jump we go. The BMW, no problem. With the landing through here. Gliska a little bit wide. You don't want to be putting a wheel on the dirt here. Not with the rear-wheel drive car. Not with any of the cars particularly. Your Mute's very wide through there. It's going to really mess you up for the next section. Gliska's out wide, but it's going to get away with it, though, in all of this. Mute is across the inside a little bit, but again, it's too far back. I don't think the BMW's got an answer. If anything, I think the Mercedes was quicker down here. The gap is just extended out. The Morgan's going to go and do it once more. The Morgan will continue onwards. I mean, surprised, pleasantly surprised, but the Morgan has been mighty impressive, and I've crashed my drone trying to do a fancy shot at the end. I knew it was going to happen. I shouldn't have tried, but you know, we knew what the results, we knew what the conclusion. The Morgan marches on. The BMW is eliminated. And, well, I'm up next. I've got to try and beat this thing. So, it is my turn up next. I have a car that I adore. This is one of my favourite, the Hyundai Vision N vehicle. I'm so glad that it is actually going to be made and everything. But we've got the problem of, am I going to have the grip to compete with the Morgan? We are likely to be quicker off the line. We are likely to lead the way into the first corner. We're being held quite a long time here. At some point, we're going to be released, but I'm going to have to defend. We've seen how good the Morgan is on the twisty stuff. We've seen how fast it is, and I'm going to have to make a very wide Hyundai. You cannot afford to make a mistake at any point in this one. Maybe we will go. We've got a really long hold. Oh, here we go. It is time for the race. We are off. We are underway. It is a good start from the Hyundai. It's not quite as good a start as we might have wanted, but it'll do as we lead through the first corner. Morgan a little bit squeezed. Don't hit the railing. We've seen that cause problems for vehicles in the past. That's a really unfortunate truck, and maybe should have gone to the inside. The Gallant's a little bit in the way now in the speed zone, so the cars will be in ghost mode. That traffic, not really what we needed, but there is still a little chance. We are likely to be quicker at a straight line than the Morgan's so good through these corners. I just cannot carry the speed through all of this. We head down to the hairpin. On the exit of the hairpin, oh, that was too late on the brakes. Ooh, okay, I'm sorry, Gliska. Wasn't really. I mean, there would be an overtaking spot. Was not going for it. Just misjudged my braking point. Ended up out a bit wide. Would have been fast on the acceleration zone down here. But now we're heading into these medium speed corners. Morgan a little bit sliding. We don't have that sliding. We have a little bit of understeer on the way through this bit. We've got to be a bit careful. Just the speed that Morgan can carry. I can't do that. We simply cannot do that as we head to the very twisty section. Fingers crossed for some good acceleration. It's a little bit wide for us here. We're going to have to we'd need monstrous acceleration here because I'm not going to be able to match the Morgan's pace through these high-speed corners. I mean, we were kind of close. It was a little bit scruffy run by me. We were kind of close, but I can't do anything here. We've had a bit of an iffy final sector, but no. There's nothing. I adore the Hyundai, and it may still be my favourite car here. However, it's not got the pace. The traffic didn't help, but regardless, I'm not going to be able to do that. Morgan just too fast. The Morgan just far too fast through the corners for me to do anything about it. Damn. So, the Morgan continues to march forward. Will the Aston Martin be the one to dethrone? We've got the Vantage here, driven by Blakey, to dethrone the Morgan. Should be closer off the line. Would maybe expect the Aston Martin, both rear-wheel drive. Morgan lighter, Aston Martin more power. Would maybe expect the Aston Martin to take the lead into turn one, and indeed it is a good start. We've got a little bit of ghosty traffic going on, but everyone is fine through this first section. The Vantage has clipped that railing, has caught a few people out, and it's just cost the Aston Martin some time. Morgan has a look. Listen, cannot find a way past there. Always going to be a difficult gap to make a way through there. It's exactly the same manoeuvre. We've seen it time and time again through this section. The Aston Martin has just ran a little bit too wide, just carried a bit too much speed, and the Morgan has got so much more grip though. The Vantage not that far behind, head down towards the hairpin. A little bit defensive from the Morgan, a big slide actually from the Morgan as well, not going to help it. The only plus point for it is it was still on the inside. The Aston Martin not quite able to find a way through. Drag race towards this next corner. The Vantage a little bit quicker. There is some traffic well, interference, but everyone survives out the other side. Morgan's not going to give up. It's around the outside of one corner, on the inside for this next turn. The Aston Martin is going to try, but it just runs out of grip. There was plenty of road for it there. There was just not enough grip in the Vantage to make that one work. We dive into the slowest corner on the track. Once again, the Morgan super quick through that section, and the Vantage is not going to be close enough. It's not going to have the acceleration here to do this one. The Morgan leads into this, and it just stretches that lead a little bit. I mean, the Vantage is better through here certainly than I was with the Hyundai. It gets a bit closer, but it can't do it. The Morgan will claim victory. The Aston put up a great fight. Blakey put up a great fight at the start of that one. But, yeah, the Morgan continues to find ways to overtake the faster starting cars. It is so quick through that twisty section that, yeah, the Morgan continues onwards. I mean, it has been a surprising tournament overall. Yeah, this Morgan turns out is mighty, mighty fast. What is it going to take to beat it? Now, surely the Morgan cannot win this one. That being said, though, the Morgan has very much outshone everything. What will it be able to do up against a Corvette? This is going to be an interesting one, for sure. The Corvette has the advantage of, well, being mid-engine. We expect the Corvette to launch very well. I don't quite know what's going on with the flickery ghost traffic. I'm going to not worry about it and presume that it is not there. It is not. But okay, off the line, the Corvette has got the lead of the race. The Morgan is doing so well because it is so very light. Compared to all the other modern vehicles, the Morgan is by far the lightest we have here, and on a course like this, that is critical. Longbow just cannot hold it, and again, it's in exactly the same pass that Gliska has done on a bunch of people now. Is the Morgan can just get turned because it is so much light. This should be a great demonstration of why modern cars should be lighter. Big dive from Longbow in the Corvette. Had to try. Did a lot better job than I did with the Hyundai. Now the Corvette, absolutely had to have a go. Corvette is going to be fast through here. Gliska thought about defending, couldn't do it. Almost did a front flip. There might be a little bit of contact through there. Longbow's going to really struggle to pull that one up in time. Gliska going to look for the outside down here. May be able to make this work because you're inside for the next one. There's definitely a little bit of leading. They're both across the dirt. A bit sideways through all of that. Gliska's going to now chuck it back up the inside. There's still a little bit of dirt being kicked up through all of this. Now, we've seen how fast the Morgan is through this next section. We've seen it make a pass stick through here. Can it do it, or is the Corvette going to just have the legs on it through all of this? It's going to be really close. The run to the line, it's just going to go the way of the Corvette, but it's by a tiniest of margins. Oh, it is the smallest of margins in that one for the Corvette. There was definitely a little bit of, again, a little bit of touring car contact. The Corvette pushed the Morgan a little bit wide. The Morgan took some liberties with track limits. I think it kind of just about worked out even on that one. Yeah, bloody hell. Manic race. The Morgan is still by far and away the surprise package for this one. I'm not sure where the Corvette has gone, but yeah, the Morgan has been absolutely mighty. The Corvette just about had the grunt to beat it. Essentially, the Morgan's still far superior in the corners than the Corvette, but just enough power in that Corvette to take a victory. So, having finally displaced the Morgan, there is one last British challenger here. Shadow is going to be driving the Jaguar for British honour in this one up against Longbow's Corvette. Not sure what way. Again, I mean, we're not sure what way. Everything we thought was going to happen with this hasn't happened. So who knows? I think the Jag. This is the SVR version. So the Jag we would expect to lead into the first corner, and it is going to lead not by a huge amount. The Corvette is there having a look, but there's not quite the room for it. Will the Corvette be able to find a way past through this twisty section? We know Gliska's favourite overtaking spot is coming up. The Jag out a little bit wide, although the Corvette's going to do exactly to the Jag what the Morgan did to the Corvette, although it's not quite able to clear as much as it would have liked. The F-Type is going to regain it. It's got them. It's got a hell of a good drive down this next section. Into the hairpin we go. The Jaguar struggling a little bit with understeer. Runs a smidge wide, but gathers it all back up. And I would, again, be expecting the F-Type to pull a gap. It's not by a huge amount, but it is a little bit faster than the Corvette towards that jump as we head into some of the quicker corners on this circuit. Oh, Longbow just dipped a wheel on the dirt and the sand through there. It's neat and tidy for Shadow with the Jaguar as we head towards a hairpin. Huge moment for Longbow with the Corvette. I think it's gone. I think it's gone away from Longbow there. I presume it put a rear wheel on the dirt in the braking zone. There's a massive, massive wobble for the Corvette. Pushing hard, trying to catch up to the Jaguar, but it just could not quite do it. And it will be the F-Type that will cross the line and take victory in the final round. The Corvette did its very best in that one, but I think the F-Type just a little bit too fast in all of that. A very good race. A very good race once again. And yeah, Longbow did absolutely everything they could with the Corvette, just pushed it a tiny bit too far right at the end and got it in trouble. But I think it was going to struggle to find a way past the Jaguar anyway. So there we go. The F-Type, sorry, has, what am I on about? has claimed a victory. It was the highest PI car, and try as the rest might, they were not quite a match for it. But before we end this video, something somewhat silly. For the final round, we're going to try and get this one underway quickly, just so traffic doesn't screw this, because it's a bit of a mess at the start. We've got everybody! We are in essentially the reverse order of how we finished. So a lot of the low PI cars at the front, the MG sort of halfway through the grid. Speed Beast is going to get an almighty shove from two electric all-wheel drive cars behind. I mean, it's going to be absolute carnage here. There's a Legacy in the way. The Dark Horse Mustangs to the front. Oh, we're going past the rocks. Oh! Liam has activated their lag cannon. Oh, that's massive airtime for a bunch of people, including me. We're going to go round. We've screwed the Vantage over completely. It's been hectic as anything. Ewan has got away, and I think Ewan may escape away from this one completely. We're going to have a go getting past a BMW down the inside at the hairpin. I mean, if we do the hairpin neatly, there's a chance we can make something happen here. Shadow's done incredibly well with the Jag to go from the very back all the way towards the front. Over the jump we go. The Morgan can't quite make the jump cleanly. We're trying to get to the inside of the Lexus, which we might do here. We've got the acceleration with the Hyundai here. The Lexus has got the grip. Gliska's got stuck behind a wall of very heavy cars. We've fired it down the inside of Rusky here. Come on, Hyundai, use your acceleration. No idea where Liam is. Liam is just a teleporting Lexus at the moment. It is 3 wide through a section that is very difficult to deal with. Ewan has got the Dark Horse to the front. The MG is having a hell of a battle with the Jaguar through all of this. It's a much better run for us. Despite the fact we got airborne for quite a lot of it, the Morgan crosses the line in 5th. It's madness. There's too many cars on a really narrow road. Well done, Ewan. Got out of trouble. What you needed. Shadow did a great job from the back. And Pega did well with the MG. We got a bit lucky. Liam was really laggy and scary. It's a terrible mess. That's not supposed to be here. Blakey, where's that come from? Oh, we had a good race with Rusky and Liam and Gliska. It was madness. Oh, dear. Yeah, I mean, we've always got to finish off with that's not a serious test because it's so hectic. But we survived it. I did a lot better in that test, actually, than I did in my actual round. So I'm going to take that. Oh, this was good fun. This was good fun. Yeah, I mean, big surprises with the MG and the Morgan overall. Yeah, the Jaguar, the F-Type may have gone and taken an overall victory. It did very well in the final round. Honestly, the MG was so much faster than, well, I say so much faster, but so good off the line and it could defend. Did a lot better, and that Morgan is just mighty. It is a really good case of just modern cars are too heavy when that is doing so well. I love my Hyundai, I do. It is one of my favourite cars, full stop. Certainly modern cars, this thing. But it is nowhere close to the Morgan for this sort of thing. Anyway, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.